Very good morning, children. Let us just have a look over the history chapter, the Age of Industrialization. So, in this chapter, we are going to look into the focus of the history of Britain, that is the first industrial nation, the India. Okay, so which there was a pattern of changes in the industrial system during the colonial period. Okay, now that is the age of industrialization, that is an era of industries. Clear? So now first let us know the meaning for industrialization. Okay, that is development of industries. Clear? So first thing is development of industries, maybe in country, in various countries, or maybe in region. Okay, so here it tells about the development of industries in a country or maybe in a region. Okay, so now first let us know we have the terms of industrialization as well as the proto-industrialization. Clear? So first let us know the meaning for proto. Okay, it is a new term for you children. That is a proto-industry. Okay, so here proto, that is maybe a first or maybe early. Clear? So proto meaning first or the early. So I told you that industrialization is a development of industries, maybe in a country or maybe in a region. Fine. So it is done on a large scale. Now let us know what is the meaning for proto-industrialization. Actually, this system existed in Europe. Okay, so it's a system of industry. Okay, otherwise it is a type of industrial system which existed in Europe. Okay, before the arrival of new modern machine run factories. Okay, so here this was the system that was adapted. This is the system of industries. Okay, it was adapted where? In England before the arrival of new modern machine run machines. Clear? So now we are able to see, we are able to understand the meaning for industrialization and proto-industrialization. So industrialization is the development of industries. Okay, maybe in a country or in a region on a large scale. So now proto-industrialization, it is a system of, okay, it is one of the type of industrial system that existed in England before the arrival of the new modern run machines. Okay, so now let us have a look over the what are the general effects of proto-industrialization. So whenever any industries has been established, definitely there will be some impact, some results over the society. Okay, so now let us know that what is the impact. Clear? Yeah. The impact of proto-industrialization, how it had an impact. Okay, so impact of proto-industrialization. Okay, so we know that impact. It is maybe a positive or maybe a negative. But here, so what happened is the open fields, that is an agricultural system, was completely disappeared and the common lands were closed. Okay, that is some of the land which provided the resources were closed. Okay, so point number 1 here, impact is number 1, open fields. Open fields were disappeared, then the common lands were closed. Okay, so when these two were not functioning, think of the situation of the people. Okay, so what happened is the people, when they didn't have for open fields for harvesting, that's for doing for agriculture, so they depend upon only the small plot of land which they had. Okay, so that small plot of land which they had, only the few members, maybe only the family members, they were able to work. So because of that, they were not able to get the income. Okay, so here the second thing is, many worked only or worked on their small plots of land. Okay, so when they worked on the small plots of land, think over that, definitely the income will be very less. Okay, so when the income is very less, so definitely know what happened. So they have to go for some other options. Okay, maybe going to the forest, cutting the woods. Okay, collecting the vegetables, collecting the fuel woods. Okay, so by this they were able to earn. Clear? And the next thing is, sometimes what happened is, when they were in a critical situation, so group of people, actually no, the merchants, what they did, merchants gave advances. Okay, gave advances to the workers to produce the needed goods. Okay, that is to whom? To the artisans as well as the household. However, no, these people, that is especially the peasants, artisans, they were very happy to get it. Why? Because the amount which they got from the merchants, they were able to supplement. So that income supplemented their family expenses. Why? Because their income in the cultivation was little bit shrinking. Clear? So now, so these people, actually artisans as well as the peasants, okay, they happily agreed. Clear? So these source of income, which they got, they implemented, that is to shrinking over their income from their cultivation. Fine. Let us have a review once again there. Impact of proto-industrialization. So here, open fields were first disappeared and the common lands were closed. So when both the sides were closed, so the farmers or maybe the other section of people, so they have to go for some other work. Okay, so they have to find some other option. And few people, they had plots of land, and many they depend upon their own land. But what they depend on their own land, they were not able to get the income as much. Okay, so at that situation, the merchants, they came forward, okay, providing the advances to the workers in order to produce the goods what they gave. Okay, so at that situation, these workers, so the peasants, they felt very happy to receive the income. Why? Because the income from where they got from their field was very little. So it was a greatly a blessed thing for those people. Okay. Now let us see what are the features of proto-industrialization. Okay. So far we saw that what was the impact of the proto-industrialization. Now let us see what are the important features of proto-industrialization. Features of proto-industrialization. Okay, so here the first feature is number 1, it is a decentralized system of production. Okay, it is a decentralized system of production. Fine. So here actually the merchants, so they had the full control over the producers. So when actually the decentralization means we know that the power can be shared over, isn't it? So in this situation, the merchants, they had a full control over the workers. Okay, merchants had control over the workers. Fine. Anyhow, when the merchants had the power over the workers, so what these workers did? Okay, so they worked for the merchants. Why? Because they want the life to be sustained, isn't it? They want the life to be comfortable. They want to earn something. Okay, so at that situation, definitely whatever the merchants said, they had to obey. Okay, so when the merchants, they had a control over the workers, and the workers along with their family members, they produced a lot of things. Okay, so here, so by working for the merchants, okay, along with that, they were able to continue their farming. Okay, so what they did, they helped, okay, workers worked for the merchants, that is the industrialist. Okay, at the same time what they did, they were, and also they remained in the countryside, and they remained in the countryside and continued their cultivation. Clear, children? Their farming or maybe a cultivation. Fine. So what is the first feature here? It is a decentralized system of production. So who had the full control over that? So especially the control over the production was completely taken by the merchants, and the products were completely produced by the workers, by the members of the family. Okay, so by supporting the merchants, by producing the things, they remain in the countryside. Okay, so they just made the cultivation in their own field. Okay, so by this they were able to manage their income. Okay, children, now let us see that how the people, that is from where the people came for the job. Okay, how they received the job. Okay, let us just have a look over that. From where, and especially the people, they shifted from the agriculture field and they came to the searching for the job. Okay, so that they were able to find the job in the industries. Okay, so workers, okay, finding the jobs, finding their jobs from where and when. Okay, from where and when. Fine. Now, when there was a news that there was very wide employment opportunities, so people from everywhere, each and every corner, they began to join over. That is, they just came rushing out to where the jobs were available. So many people they were suffering with a drought. Okay, with the hunger. So they want to make their life comfortable, their members, family members to be happy. So with a long distance, from a long distance, they walked here and there. Okay, at last, they were able to find the mills and they joined. They worked there. Okay, especially in which mills in India, that is in Bombay as well as in Calcutta. Okay, so number 1 is employment opportunities in mills. Okay, employment opportunities in mills. So there was a migration of people. Okay, so the people, they were shifting, they traveled. So there was a migration over here. Yes, number 1 is employment opportunities in mills. Okay, fine. But getting the job, okay, next thing is what? Getting a job. Fine. So, while getting the job, for this getting the job, mills were multiplied. That means what? Many mills came into existence. Mills were multiplied. But when there was a growth of mills, but it was not able to equate the strength of the job. Though there were many mills existed running there, but the job facilities, the opportunities was very less. Why? Because there were money labor. Okay, so here getting job was not so much easier. So mills were multiplied, but what happened? The labors were abandoned. Labors were abandoned. Okay, they were more or plenty. Okay, so in that cases, when it was very more, and one more thing what happened is, especially getting into the job, but was not so easy. Okay, getting job. Why? The one thing is a lot of mills were there, many mills were there. At the same time, the labors were what? Abandoned. But it was not able to equate with the mills. So some workers, they went without the job. And other thing is getting job was restricted. So restrictions in the job. Okay, why there was an restrictions in job? So getting into the mill, okay, to work in the mill, they should have a friendly relationship. Okay, so there should be some relations or maybe the friendship. Okay, so here whenever they entered for the work, either they should be based on the relation of friends working in that mill. Okay, so there were some of the people, they were called as jobbers here. So these jobbers, okay, so they were especially of the old man. Okay, old man, maybe a trustworthy to the industrialists, to the merchants. What is their work? Okay, they seek the work for the needed people. Okay, so he was the responsible person to recruit the workers. Recruit the workers, that is appointing the workers here. So what he did? He began to recruit the workers in his village. Okay, so based on the capability, the workers were made to work here. Clear? At the same time, what kind of other help was done by the jobbers? Okay, sometimes it is what, when he was able to recruit some workers, no, he provided the place, that is to settle down. To settle down means what? To settle down. So here actually it was made to work here. One thing is what? To recruit the workers. One, fine. Okay, so one thing is he was able to recruit the workers. Then what was the other thing here? Helping them. Okay, helping them in their crisis. So whenever they had a money problem, so what they did? They just helped them in giving the amount. Okay, so not only money, even their residing places, their dwelling places. Okay, so when this kind of works were done by the jobbers, so what he was expecting for that? That is, he was just demanding a gift. Okay, or maybe some other like an interest which is lending the money. Okay, so anyhow the workers know they were somewhat satisfied here, as they were able to get their minimum income in order to run their life. Okay, so these were what? Where the people they find the job, when? Okay, how? So where they came? Especially from the outer areas. So when there was job opportunities in the industries, no, from the vast areas, no, here and there, the people they were rushing to get into the mill. Okay, so what is the, because when the many people they came for the work, what happened? Though there was increase in the mill, it was not able to equate that, because there were many people as an unemployed. Okay, then what was the work of the jobber here? Okay, he is actually a trust worker, trustworthy to the merchants, to the industrious people. So he found the jobs for the needed people and supported them when they were in the crisis. Okay, so now let us next have their other thing, especially the process of industrialization in the Britain industry, how there was a process. Okay, the next heading, though there was an industries, as I said you that industrialization means what? That is a development of industries, maybe in the country or in a region, in a large scale production. Okay, so next is how there was a process of industrialization in Britain. Okay, fine. So first now we shall see about what are the events, how it occurred, what was the impact of industrialization based on the Britain nation. Fine. So when there was a industry started, especially after, which was a major industry they started as a iron and steel. As we know that iron and steel is a basic thing. Why? Because it is providing the raw material to the other industries. So with the growth of iron and steel, cotton textile industries bloom. Okay, first one is what happened? First thing is a cotton industry grew rapidly. With what? With the coming of the iron and steel. That is the one thing. Then what made to have the increase in the production? Okay, industrial production, why? Because there was an improvement in the railways. Actually, for making of railways, many equipments are needed. Okay, so there was an improvement of railways. That is the second thing. And what about the industries? It came, the new factories, new industries, but it was not able to replace the traditional industries. Traditional, that is once we adapted in the olden days, in ancient period, how we were able to bring out. Okay, so that industries were not replaced. So what is the third one? So the new thing, the traditionals industries were not replaced, with the new. Okay, so next is, however, when it was not able to replace that, industries, they tried to expand their quality in the production. Okay, at the same time expand the industrial production. Fine. And what about the new techniques they started? But the implementation of technology was very slow. Implementation of technology, it was very slow. Okay, so here how the process did, that is impact the cotton industries, it grew rapidly, and there was an improvement of railways. Okay, when there was an improvement of railways, then it led to the industrialization process. Okay, but as they were the new innovation, new industries, but that was not able to replace the traditional industries once they followed in the countryside. So next there was an industrial production. Okay, so how, that is they want to have with the proper the full speed. Okay, so they want to increase the speed and they want to improve the quality of the production. Anyhow, they want to improvement, they want to implement the new technology, but that new techniques process went on slow. Okay, so next we can see what was an impact of industrial revolution. Okay, though there was an industrial growth, what was an impact? Number one, impact, let us see, impact of industrial revolution. We know very well. Okay, industrialization means what? That is development of industries. Okay, so there was a drastic change in the production. What happened is, number one, so before industrialization came, so actually the Britain and we India were producing lot of cotton and spices, especially Indian land Indian soil is very good in producing what? In cultivating what? Cotton, silk, opium. Okay, so before the industrialization, all these had a very great impact. So now one impact is, before industrialization, okay, there was an improvement what? In the cotton, silk. Okay, but due to the new arrival, so these cotton and silk industries got set back. That is, it began to decline is the first point. And the second thing is, it enabled, however, it enabled the England to produce a lot. How? England to produce much of cotton. Why? Because the Indian land, no, it is producing. The Indian soil is very blessed thing for growing what type of crops? That is cotton. Okay. So here it enabled England to produce, okay, much of cotton with cheap labor as well as with the low cost. So many labors, though the labors charges very less, but however no, the people, the workers no, who were in a miserable condition, somehow they want to work and they want to earn. Okay, so it was a very easy chance given for the Britain people to find out the labors. Okay, so next what it did is this industrial revolution, okay, it gave a thread, okay, industrial revolution, it gave thread to whom? To the artisans and the handicraft. Artisans as well as the handicrafts will be there, isn't it? So these people, they suffered a lot. They were not able to produce the goods on them and they were compelled to work in their industries. Okay, and next thing is some heavy duties. Okay, heavy duties were imposed on Indian, that is imposed on Indian goods. Okay, so these were the main impact of the industrial revolution. So before industries, before industrialization, what happened? The cotton, silk and opium industries were in blooming, but as a result of the industrial revolution, these industries got set back. Okay, began to decline. But however, no, the people, that is the workers who were available for the cheap labor, one, and one more thing is for the less cost, England was able to produce much of cotton here. So when the industrial revolution came, what happened? The work of the artisans, okay, handicrafts, they left from their job. So this has given the greatest threat to whom? Handicrafts as well as the artisans. And sometimes what happened? Some of the taxes were imposed on the Indian goods. Okay, children. So now let us see the other thing. So far as we have saw that what was the impact of the industrial revolutions, what happened. Now why the British, no, they were not able, they were not keen interest. They didn't show any interest in launching the new techniques, the new machineries. Why? It was a very slow process in making use of the technologies. So next heading is British manufacturers were not keen to introduce new machineries. So what made them? What were the main reasons? So which made them not to adapt for or not for going for any new techniques? First thing is what? There was a seasonal demand for the labors. Number one is a seasonal demand for the labors. Especially the laborers, they were engaged in works, maybe in the gas works or maybe in the breweries. Okay, or maybe in the book binding, printing, or maybe in the catering. So there was a demand, there was seasonal demand for the laborers, one, and one more thing is there was a range of products. So range of products by what? By the handlooms. So the British manufacturers, they were able to produce the very good high quality of ranges of the products by the handlooms, one, Then next thing is actually they prefer the human skill as the best. So human skill requirement was very best for them. Clear? And the people know they prefer for the handmade goods. What's the other reason? They preferred to have the handmade goods than the machines. Okay, this is the reason. That's the one thing. So they prefer the goods than the thing. Why the people they were not able to use the machines here? They was using the machine. No, it was somewhat more expensive. One is what making use of the machine is expensive. Sometimes no, when the machines gets repaired, so the repairing charge was more. Okay, and moreover no, the Britain people they prefer the goods which had made by hand than by the machine, because no, these goods were of high quality one, and they had very good designs which they like. Clear? So these are the reasons why the British manufacturer did not have a step to take over the machineries. Number one is what? Seasonal demand for laborers. Next is a range of products, especially by the handlooms. Okay, then they thought that the human skill was more powerful than the machines. And the last reason is what? They prefer the handmade goods, okay, done by the workers, done by the machines. Okay, so now let us go for the other content, that is what kind of problems arise by the European people. Problems arise, especially when the workers, wherever they work, especially in the mills and all, though they are earning something to run their life, but here and there they have to face some problems, isn't it? So now let us see what kind of problems they faced in England. One thing, before setting to that, there may be some problem started, isn't it? Maybe especially whenever a person runs a business, he will not be very successful at the beginning itself. So he has to undergo many obstacles to come up in his life as a successful person. Now factors affecting, factors affecting the industrialist. What made them? What factors did they set back? Did they got back? Okay, here. Number one is due to the expansion of world trade. Actually, they want to expand. So, when there was a world expansion of trade, okay, so what will the merchants do? So, they also want to improve their production, isn't it? So when the people, especially in the Britain, in England, they want to expand the trade, they want to earn the profit, but the other people, that is what we call arts and guild. Okay, so guilds were nothing but it is a group of merchants. What they did, they created the problem to the workers, to the industrialists. Okay, so the guilds, what they did, they began to create some problems. So some funds were not given for the merchants to take up their business. Moreover, what they did, the government it gave a monopoly rate. Okay, so it gave a monopoly right, that is for trading, okay, and same time for selling the goods. Okay, so here what they did, the guilds, no, they did not allow the other people to enter into the line. So there was a great setback to the industries. But however, no, these guilds, they were able to make some production in a great quantity with the help of whom? With the help of the artisans as well as the craftsmen. Okay, because these sections of people, no, they want to earn, okay, to make their life somewhat comfortable. So wherever it happens, wherever they find some job, they were ready to work. Okay, so next, what happened to the rebellions? Why the workers, they become turned into as a rebellion? Why they were against of people here? Okay, so now the rebellious situation in, okay, of the London dwellers, that is the people living in London. Okay, so first thing is, though they were many people, no, they were fully engaged in the work, but the residing place, okay, so they want some place to reside. So in that situation, vast mass of people, no, they resided in one room, so which caused a threat to their health. Okay, so why there was a rebellious thing is vast mass of people, that is a heavy, there's a many people, no, they live in one room. Okay, so it created the threat to health. Okay, think that in a single room, okay, that is instead of a person, no, a single room can accommodate only 10 to 15 members. Okay, but in the same room, if 100 workers are dumped, think of their healthiness. Okay, so it will greatly hinders their health as a one. So next is cities were crowded. Okay, so as there was an employment opportunities, what happened? Many people from the rural areas, they came to the urban area. So here cities were crowded. Okay, and what happened here again? The ventilators. Okay, they did not have the proper ventilators. So ventilation facilities was bad. Okay, so they were not able to get the free clean. Okay, so they were made to remain in a dungeon situation. Dungeoned. Okay, it was not, life was not so comfortable. The environment was not suitable for them is a one. And some people know, they thought that when the house was not, not properly constructed, at any time it may be a cause for them. Maybe any time the houses may be fallen down. Okay, so the poor conditions of the house, poor house conditions. So they were thinking that there may be here and there some fire hazards. Okay, so there was a great worriness. We are able to see the great worriness in their faces. Okay, so what was the rebellious situation in the London? What happened when many people they came to join in the work? So the atmosphere was not well suited. Why? Because many people they want to accommodate in a single room. So because of that there was an public threat, and cities were crowded and they were not able to get the ventilation in a proper way. Okay, and the poor houses. Okay, so there was they thought sometimes there may be a fire hazard. Okay, so now the next thing is what steps? can be taken. So what they did is they planned, okay, that is the merchants, okay, and especially the guild people, no, they thought some decisions, some suggestions can be taken, that is to construct a few houses for the workers, if not so well ventilated, no, at most to their level they did, okay. So next thing is why, what made the reasons, okay, to think over that the machine made goods were not so better than the handmade. That is why a man preferred the works done by the worker. Okay, reasons why Europe prefer hand labor over machines. Hand labor over machines. As we saw that the human skill was far better than that, and they were able to get the workers at the minimum level of caste here, okay. But in case if they want to make use of the machineries, no, definitely no, they has to invest a much amount. So they depended upon, so investment cost on machines was higher, okay. As you saw in the previous thing, when the machines gets repaired, it took much of expensive, and there was many labors. The next thing is labors were available, okay, in plenty at low cost. Clear, children? Okay, so why they preferred the hand labor over machines? So labors were available in plenty at low cost, and it was a seasonal demand for the labors. Clear? So seasonal demand for labors. Actually what I told you that in the beginning, that the people know they were especially working in gas works or maybe in the breweries, especially in what months, maybe the colder months, in creating the printing works or maybe any binding works, and maybe in the December month in the catering work, okay. So there was a great demand for the labor, and these labors were available at the cheap cost. So they workers know, so they were somewhat, they were able to manage, okay. At the same time the industrial people know, they were not willing to get the machines one, okay. So one more thing is the goods which were produced by handmade, they thought it was of a great quality, okay. So they did not show much interest in making the things to the machines, okay, children. So next topic which we are going to see is how was the life of the workers, as they were dumped, many people know they were their main intention is what, only to earn their income. Now let us see what happened, how the people know they struggled hard, okay. So next heading is life of workers. Clear? Fine. What was the life of the workers in the Britain? Life of the workers in Britain. Okay, now let us see. Especially when a person, when he comes out of his home, to make his life comfortable, or maybe a luxury, or maybe for needful, whatever may be, he goes for the work, he comes for the work, definitely he has to face the hardship, okay. So we know the well-verb that without the pain there will be no gain, so we have to put off our efforts, we have to work hard, okay. So we have to face a lot of problems, okay, to earn something to run our life. Okay, so here life of though the people know they came from the different areas to work here, they had to face some problems. So let us see now what were the problems. One. So here one, labor. Okay, one is labor and other one is the job availability. Okay children, so first here is a labor here. So labor was in abundance, labor were more, in plenty. But what about the job? It was less or maybe low. Okay, that is, think over that if there are 100 workers, so it is not able to provide for all the 100 people. Okay, so maybe only for 90 or something, and other 10 they have to go without this job. Okay, so they may just have some the hurtedness in their minds. That is the thing. So the people know whenever they came from the villages, especially the job seekers, even now we can see especially the youths, okay, in finding the job, they may just come out from their homes, they may have to travel a long distance, they may go to city areas. Okay, sometimes if they are not able to meet the concerned person, he has to find the place for his residence. It will be very toughest job for them. Anyhow, so these job seekers, they came from where? They came from the villages. Okay, but if they are not able to find a job, what was the places where they need? Especially till from the morning till evening the person can just roam here and there, travel here and there somewhat. But what is the time for his resting? At least he should have some time for rest, especially in the nights. So what they did in the nights? So what was the place for them? Especially they slept under the bridges. Okay, so they slept under the bridges. There was no safetyness, there no security for their life. Okay, think of the thing. Throughout the day he may search for his job. Sometimes even the person, when he just works from morning till evening, he wants the time to take rest, isn't it? He wants some comfortable place to take rest. But think of the people seeking for the jeep. They may come from the villages, from the long distances. If they happen that their work is not completed, so at that moment, to reside the places, they may not have the money, proper money to settle down there, taking a room or something. So it happened for them to take their rest under the bridges or maybe the night shelters. So, but as the work was like a seasonal. Okay, seasonal means what? Especially I told you that maybe the printing works or maybe the binding works or maybe in the catering. Okay, so in that cases, only the few people will be engaged. Okay, one reason for not getting is the seasonal demand. So there was a seasonal demand for the workers. Seasonal demand of labor was also one of the cause for not getting the job on the right way. So the next thing is somehow even though some people they work, they were not able to get the wages. So their wages were low. So getting these low wages, they were not able to run their life peacefully. But what they think, instead of going hunger, okay, at least a piece of bread can satisfy their hunger. So thinking over that, they were ready to work in the mills, in the factories at the low wages. So their life become miserable. Okay. So as now they got only the less content, less amount of thing. Sometimes due to some critical situation, crisis and all, what happened? The prices of the goods, the cost of goods, it began to increase. Okay, so when the price of goods increased, what will happen to the situation of the workers? They may have only a less amount. Okay, so they are not able to purchase the needy things. So their life become miserable. Okay. So next is, then workers, if they are not able to get the job, they have to find some odd jobs. Okay, so if there is thing, they have to find the odd jobs. That is what? Sometimes no, they went to the forest to get something. Okay, or maybe selling of vegetables. Okay, or making the hay and selling out. Clear? So this was the life condition of the workers. So they faced a lot of problems. Okay, children. So today, actually, in the beginning, as I tell you that there was an improvement in the industries over a region on a large scale. Okay. So now let us just have a go through of the learned content today. So first we saw what is the meaning for industrialization. Then we came across the meaning for proto-industrialization and what were the impact of the proto-industrialization and the features of the industrialization. Okay, and next we were able to see how the production bloomed in the Britain and why the people they came, for what people they came, okay, from where they came and how they were able to accommodate their life. Okay, and what were the reasons why the Britain they were not able to establish their trading centers because of the arrival of the Gills. And some more next content was what? Why the Britain manufacturers they wish to have much of the goods produced by the thing. Why they preferred over the hand labor than the machines. And next thing was what was the life conditions of the worker. Okay, and what were the problems faced by the workers. Okay, so today we are just seeing that all this content and just to have a review over once again each and every line of your text, especially in the page number 1 of your text. There may be a picture depicting that goddesses. It is being created by E.T. Pal, the publisher, as a music book. So there he is able to highlight, okay, that is how the country it is able to come from the darkness to the light areas due to the inventions of the machines, how the life has been transformed. Okay, children, so let us complete this. And tomorrow, the next session, I'll be taking the continuation of this. How, what made, who were the jobbers and who were the gumastas, how did they supervise that and what were the peculiarities of the industrial growth and how did the advertisement help in creating the very good market. Okay, thank you children. Let us see in the next session.